The rescue that happened despite the residents not being inside at the time. Plus, 2 suspects in Joshua Larkin's disappearance, they've been arraigned. The bonds that they are being held on as investigators continue to search for Larkin's remains. And an unusual attack on the Riverwalk in San Antonio goes viral on TikTok. The tourists who were pepper sprayed seemingly at random, including a baby. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Tia, she's going to be back on Daybreak next week. Your time is now 7 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Carrie Cooper as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network about the 12 News studio here in Beaumont. Carrie, we were dealing with fog all morning. How's it looking now?
Well, still pretty foggy, but visibilities have improved a little bit, and that will continue throughout the course of the morning. We'll have partly cloudy skies by this afternoon. Can't rule out a sprinkle or maybe an isolated shower today, but certainly most areas will not see a drop of rain. It'll be very warm too, as we said, mid 80s for highs coming up. That is well above normal for this time of the year. Tonight looks really warm as well. And right now across Southeast Texas, we're running now pretty warm, right around 70, 66 over in Lake Charles, 68 Beaumont, 70 Port Arthur and Orange, and the low 70s out to our west. And satellite view shows lots of clouds out to our west, a few showers in New Mexico, south of El Paso. We'll have a chance of a few showers in our forecast coming up on late Thursday night to Friday morning. We'll talk about that and the rest of your forecast a little bit later.
All right, Carrie. Well, thankfully, no one was hurt in this mobile home fire last night in Orange. It happened around 7 p.m. in the 1700 block of Aloha Street. Now, Orange County ESD1 crews and other first responders, they found the home fully engulfed, but they were able to bring it under control safely. No people inside at the time, but you see right here, crews, they were able to rescue this dog that was in the home and ultimately reunite it with its owner. The cause of this fire still being investigated. And a judge has set the bonds for 2 men charged in the disappearance of Joshua Larkin. Now, James Jones and Jonathan Cody Beerhalter, they're being held in the Newton County Jail. Jones' bond is set at $250,000, while Beerhalter is $750,000 bond. Both men, they were arrested Monday, and they are 2 of 4 suspects in this case. Beerhalter is charged with murder and tampering with evidence, along with Justin James. As for Jones and Rodney Blankenship, they've been charged with just tampering with evidence. James and Blankenship, they were already in prison on unrelated charges. Larkin, he disappeared back in November of 2022 when he left for a hunting trip and he never returned. Investigators still searching for his remains, so if you have any information, contact the Newton County Sheriff's Office. Across Texas now, a pepper spray attack on tourists enjoying the Riverwalk in San Antonio is going viral. Police say that a woman sprayed 8 people on a boat Saturday night, including a baby, and videos that captured part of this incident, they are spreading on TikTok. A witness took to social media to put the suspect's face out there in hopes of getting justice for the tourists who are just trying to have a good time. Megan Reyna with our sister station has this story.
In videos gaining millions of views on TikTok by user Fatigued in America, you see what happened before and after police say 8 people were pepper sprayed. It happened along the Riverwalk around 8:30 Saturday night. Police say a woman on a Go Rio River cruise boat had her phone volume too loud. When the boat operator asked her to turn it down, the woman reportedly got upset. At that point, you can see in these TikTok videos her yelling as she gets off the boat. Hanging from her purse is what appears to be pepper spray. Moments later, the witness says that woman walked up on a bridge, then sprayed the boat. Video appears to show a child was among the victims. One woman who was working in a gift shop nearby talked with us anonymously. She saw all the commotion afterwards and says out of her 4 years working along the Riverwalk, this was the worst incident she's witnessed.
You don't really expect any of that to happen. Like, you just expect to have like a good time with your family and everything. Not really to get attacked.
The witness says police got there quickly. However, the woman got away.
No, I just hope they catch her because like that's so like messed up. She pepper sprayed a baby.
SAPD is investigating the incident as an assault and have copies of these videos.
And that was Megan Rayner reporting with our sister station in San Antonio, which reached out to Go Rio, the company that runs those river cruises, for comment. They haven't heard back yet. Meanwhile, Arlington police, they announced earlier this week that they solved a cold case from 1991, but they did it with the help of a group of college students. Now, in September of 91, 25-year-old mother Cynthia Gonzalez, she left for work and she was never seen alive again. Her body found days later in Johnson County. With no full-time cold case unit, Arlington PD, they turned to UT Arlington, giving a select group of criminology students rare access to the Gonzalez case file.
So we had to comb through about 400 or 500 files, photographs from the crime scene.
And their fresh eyes, they led detectives to re-question 63-year-old Jamie Perkins, a friend who shared a love interest with Gonzalez. She was arrested and charged with capital murder, a shocking development for Gonzalez's daughter, who was just 6 when her mother was murdered.
I am so grateful for this program, and I am so proud of these students at UTA, and I'm so thankful for what they have done and the time that they've spent and the effort they've put in.
And the students who helped were emotional too when detectives told them an arrest had been made. They are currently reviewing 2 other cold cases as well. And speaking of cold cases, there has been an interesting development with artificial intelligence. While AI can be used with nefarious or malicious intent, it can also be used for good. In this case, raising awareness for those who are missing or murdered. Beth Warden explains.
Following the disappearance of Rachel Syriacs in 2013, missing posters have been shared, billboards displayed, and a television plea made from her mother, Mary.
Somebody needs to talk. I mean, we got to have answers.
With the help of AI, there is a new way to share that Rachel Syriacs still needs to be found.
My name is Rachel Syriacs, and for almost 12 years now, people have wondered what happened to me.
Creating AI-generated missing videos told by the person who disappeared can be a powerful tool. It's a way for Tawana Spann to honor her murdered son. She posts her video creations online.
I've been an advocate for missing persons and homicide victims ever since. It makes me feel like he didn't die in vain.
I outlined so much for the judge, I told them. He would kill me.
It's a marketing tool for their cases.
A couple months later, my truck is found. Brad had it. He stated he was doing work on it, even though he knew law enforcement had been looking for it.
Collaborator Laura Bullock helps families looking for loved ones in South Dakota.
Giving her back her voice and letting her kind of speak for herself. What I'm hoping for is really that we can just touch the heart of somebody who maybe has information.
Someone out there knows where I am.
Rachel was last seen with her partner, Brad, who was just released from jail for domestic violence against her.
It can be so easy to lose hope, but really, you are giving that hope once again.
It's me, it's a collaboration of us all trying to make sure it happens.
I am Rachel Syriacs, mother, daughter, sister, friend, and I deserve to be found.
Well, back here at home, a Southeast Texas nonprofit is in need of donations so that it can continue feeding families in need. The Dream Center is feeling the strain after the government shutdown. The organization's food pantry feeds nearly 700 families a month, and more people needed help after SNAP benefits were briefly cut off. Families, they have to apply to be part of the program, which allows them to pick up food 4 times a month. Applications opened up last week, but within just 6 days, they were at capacity. The first time they've ever had a wait list.
with them getting cuts, it limit us to be able to give out what we usually give out a month. So we usually give out a lot, but this month we had to scale back and make sure that we were able to stretch what we had to be able to reach more people.
There are requirements to qualify, but they don't turn away families who have signed up. So if you want to donate or volunteer, we have a link on our website. And ExpressMart kicked off its 13th reindeer campaign yesterday and presented a $45,000 check to the Gift of Life program. That's going to help provide free cancer screenings and medical services for uninsured Southeast Texans. That campaign is going to run at ExpressMart stores throughout the holiday season. Still ahead, Beaumont Police Chief Tim Oknishek is in studio talking safety ahead of the busy holiday shopping season. But first, a Houston business is targeted by a scam. The story and tips for other business owners to avoid the same fate. Your time is now 7:10.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us. To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon. Only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. The owner of a Houston construction company says that he was blindsided by a wave of fake one-star reviews, then demand to pay up to make them go away. Cheryl Mercedes, she shows us how it happened and has solutions for other business owners dealing with the same problem.
Abraham Polachek, owner of Dunnell Construction, says he's used to seeing glowing feedback online.
In this type of business, your reputation is everything.
On Google, he says his company's always earned 5 stars, until recently when that suddenly changed.
We've never had a 4-star or 3-star or 2-star review, so getting a 1-star review just out of the blue is definitely painful, and it's unnerving.
In less than 24 hours, Polachek says the company was flooded with 13 one-star reviews, all from people they've never done business with.
I'll read some of them to you. Horrible craftsmanship from start to finish.
Unprofessional and unreliable, and
Absolutely terrible experience.
Does that sound like the reviews you've gotten in the last 17 years?
Absolutely not. We typically get a review once every few months, and here we got 13 in less than 24 hours. What's shocking about it was they were all one-star reviews.
So the alarm bells immediately went off.
Then came the message that confirmed Polachek's suspicions. A scammer was behind the fake reviews.
The last review we received was a one-star review, and what it said was, in our profile photo is our WhatsApp number. Please reach out to get these reviews removed.
Polachek says he reported it to Google. They investigated and took action. A few days later, the negative reviews started disappearing.
I feel relieved, vindicated. Obviously, you know, our negative reviews are gone and we're back to our 5-star reviews, and we can focus on what we do best, build things.
So what can you do if your business is being targeted by scammers? Well, you can file a report with Google for removal like Abraham did. All you have to do is fill out the merchant extortion form, and you can find that online.
And that was Cheryl Mercedes reporting that form. It can be found at support.google.com.
Well, temperature starting out around 70 this morning. Still some areas of fog across southeast Texas. Visibilities are improving, though, on our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Cider 12 Studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. Temperatures right now, it was a warm morning, right around 70 across the area. We'll be in the mid-80s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. A lot of high clouds out over the west and a few showers ahead of the next upper level low located over New Mexico and western Texas. You can see the next upper level storm system spinning out over the west. That'll be working northeastward, staying well north of us coming up over the next several days. Futurecast over the next few days will put this into motion. Notice the front getting a little bit closer to us as we work toward, let's say, Friday afternoon, Friday night. Front still well to our north, but notice some scattered showers in the area on Friday. We'll give it a 30, maybe 40% coverage Friday morning into the early afternoon. Then Friday evening right now looks dry. Front coming on in, we'll see some slightly drier, stable air working in behind it. Certainly this is not a strong front, so don't expect a big heavy coat behind this one. Temperatures will be a few degrees cooler this weekend, but not a whole lot. And rainfall, well, it doesn't look like a lot either. Half inch or less between now and the Sunday morning time frame at around 7 a.m. I think overall the weekend looking pretty good. Futurecast will have highs today in the mid-80s. Get rid of the fog. We'll see some partly cloudy skies, maybe an isolated shower at best across the area. 10% coverage, 20% coverage though tomorrow. Lows tonight around upper 60s near 70 again. Very warm across the region. And for tomorrow, same thing, fog in the morning becoming partly cloudy, and highs in the lower 80s coming up for your Thursday afternoon with that 20% coverage of showers tomorrow. Partly cloudy later on this morning, this afternoon, mid-80s, very warm, 10% on the rain coverage. Very, very small there. Dense fog again tonight, no rain expected. Lows will be in the mid to upper 60s, close to 70 degrees. 7-day forecast, the rain coverage does go up a little bit tomorrow to 20%, then up to 30 to 40% Friday morning. Weekend, I think, is looking okay. Still a little bit warm, but a little bit cooler. And then the rain chances will start to go back up again, especially by Tuesday of next week, ahead of a stronger front that works in Tuesday night.
All right, Carrie, and just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check that radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And Shangri-La Botanical Gardens in Orange, they are hosting Christmas strolls. That's going to be December 2nd through the 20th. The info is right there on your screen. There's going to be a senior, mobility-friendly, and sensory sensitivity hour from 5 to 6 each night for guests with sensory or mobility challenges and their families. You can buy tickets ahead of time at shangrilagardens.org. And with the holiday season ramping up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year, they're all about family and fun, but local law enforcement wants to make sure that you're staying safe out there too. So joining me this morning is Beaumont Police Chief Tim Oknashek. He's in studio to talk a little bit more about this. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Mark.
So yeah, tell me a little bit, what types of crimes tend to be on the rise this time of year that people need to be on the lookout for?
Well, I really think people are taking advantage of opportunities, and that's what we want to curb. You know, when you're out there shopping, pay attention to what you're doing when you're getting out of your car, when you're headed to your car, have your keys in your hands, park in a lighted area. Don't leave a bunch of packages in plain sight in the windows. You know, not all the shopping is at the stores. A lot of online shopping. If you're going to the store, remember to, you know, try to shop with a friend or whatever. But the big thing is a lot of online shopping, and people have deliveries right to their door. Sometimes people take advantage of those if they're left unattended. You know, you can use informed delivery, track your deliveries, have them delivered when you're around, maybe to work, or have a friend pick them up, just not leaving them there. Taking care of a lot of scams that people are trying to do, like one earlier information that y'all provided about people taking advantage of others. Just don't let them have that chance.
I suppose for when you're in person there, you know, it's a good time to not be on your phone. Like you said, a good time to bring a friend. And I know it can get hectic out there. You got a lot going on, but really staying aware of your surroundings. If you see someone kind of shifty, what do you suggest? Maybe just drive away, call someone for help?
Well, let's call the police. You know, instead of calling friends or family members right off the bat, call the police, 832-1234. If it's an emergency, life and death, call 911. But give us a chance to work it. We got a lot of people out there, both in person. We got some extra patrols, and we also have people watching on cameras. A lot of businesses are sharing their feeds with us, and we have license plate reader cameras and on the major routes, and this can help. But we need to know if you see something suspicious or if you see a violation happening.
What about these Porsche pirates? What can be done about that?
Well, you know, like a lot of it's just tracking your delivery, making sure you time it to where if you're not at home, you have somebody that's going to pick it up. Just don't leave it out there and make it look like you're not at home, or give people unnecessary opportunity. Even mail, you know, check your box often and make sure you're not leaving your stuff in there for a long period of time.
And obviously having a camera at your front door, that helps as well. If you capture anything, contact BPD and they'll take care of that.
Exactly. We can get a link and it'll help us investigate it. If they're trying to get something from you, they're probably trying to get something from somebody else. So let's nip it in the bud.
Good stuff there, Chief. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with these great tips for holiday safety.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, coming up next here on 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus, Kerry Cooper, he's going to be right back with another look at your forecast. Your time, 7:22.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple. To do your part, in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m., keeping you informed on what matters most.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. We have some traffic alerts for you this morning, so let's go ahead and start with Orange County. The right lane of Interstate 10 East from Simmons Drive to the Sabine River Relief Bridge. That's going to be closed from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Crews, they are working in the area, so plan some extra travel time there. Also, we got a couple here in Jefferson County. First up, there's going to be lane closures on Highway 73 in both directions today and tomorrow. Contractors, they're going to be out there repairing pavement along the highway. Traffic's going to slow down in those work zones, so expect delays. Also in Beaumont, the left lane of Interstate 10 East from Laurel to Gladys and the left lane of Interstate 10 West from Liberty to Hollywood. Those are going to be closed tonight starting at 8 p.m. They're going to reopen tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And a warm forecast in store, that's for sure. Expect highs in the mid-80s today, low 80s tomorrow. Areas of fog again tonight, tomorrow morning. A couple of isolated showers possible today, but the coverage only 10%. Does jump to 20% for tomorrow, a 30% coverage Friday morning. Weekend overall looks pretty good. And then the rain chances will come back at us early next week. Looks like the best chance will be next Tuesday ahead of a stronger cold front that'll move through the area right before Thanksgiving. So kind of an early look at Thanksgiving, looking kind of cool now with lows in the 40s and highs in the 60s. I'll have more weather a little bit later.
All right, Carrie, and coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, Orange County first responders, they found a home fully engulfed in flames. The rescue that happened despite the resident not being inside, plus 2 suspects in Joshua Larkin's disappearance. They've been arraigned. The bonds that they're being held on as investigators continue the search, and the legal battle ahead after a panel of federal judges blocks Texas's new congressional maps. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong. Your time is now 7:30, so let's go ahead and take a look at your top stories this morning. First up, a Jasper man is facing charges for child sex crimes. Alan Gutierrez was arrested Monday on Highway 96 South. Deputies say that he made inappropriate physical contact with an underage girl, so he's been charged with indecent assault. And we now know the name of the woman who was killed while walking down I-10 North in Beaumont. 44-year-old Jennifer Huffman was hit by a vehicle early Sunday morning. Police say that she died at the scene. The driver stayed behind and spoke with investigators. And the multi-district litigation panel in Texas has ruled that lawsuits filed in connection to the deadly scaffolding collapse at Port Arthur LNG last April in Sabine Pass will be handled in one pretrial court. Those wrongful death suits, they were filed in Jefferson and Harris counties on behalf of 3 workers who were killed and 2 other workers who were injured. The panel has not yet named which court or which judge is going to take over. And let's go ahead and take a live look now outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above the 12 News studio here in Beaumont. Carrie Cooper standing by with today's forecast. Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
Pretty good. Finally getting rid of the fog slowly. It's beginning to burn off, and that's good news. We'll have partly cloudy skies this afternoon. We expect high temperatures to be well above normals. We've been saying all morning, mid-80s later today. That is well above normal for this time of the year, and that's going to continue as we head to the rest of the week on into the early part of the weekend. We do have a weak cold front that'll move through Friday morning, and that'll cool us off a little bit for the weekend, but not a whole lot. Actually, the front doesn't arrive until very early Saturday morning. Right now, we're running around 70 degrees, area-wide, very warm, 72 in Jasper, 69 here in Beaumont, 70 in Orange and Port Arthur. And the high clouds continue out to our west across central and western Texas. Coming up a little bit later, we'll take a detailed look at that weekend forecast.
Well, thankfully no one was hurt here in this mobile home fire from last night in Orange. It happened around 7 p.m. in the 1700 block of Aloha Street. Orange County ESD1 crews and other first responders found that home fully engulfed, but they were able to bring it under control pretty quickly. No one inside at the time except for this dog. Crews were able to rescue it from the home and reunite it with its owner. The cause of this fire is being investigated. Well, a judge has set bonds for 2 men charged in the disappearance of Joshua Larkin. James Jones and Johnson Cody Beerhalter, they are being held in Newton County Jail. Jones' bond is set at $250,000 while Beerhalter's is $750,000. Both men, they were arrested Monday, but they are 2 of 4 suspects in this case. Beerhalter, he's charged with murder and tampering with evidence along with Justin James. Jones and Rodney Blankenship, they're charged with only tampering with evidence. Now, James and Blankenship, they are already in jail on unrelated charges. And Larkin, he disappeared back in November of 2022 when he left for a hunting trip and he never returned. Investigators, they are still searching for his remains, so if you have any information, contact the Newton County Sheriff's Office. And we are continuing our coverage of the shakeup with the state's congressional maps. A federal panel has blocked Texas from using these newly redrawn maps for the next year's midterms. It was passed by lawmakers earlier this year. Now, those maps, they were drawn to help Republicans gain extra seats in the United States House, but several advocacy groups, they sued alleging that these drawings, they were racially gerrymandered. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato has more.
The arguments the DOJ letter put forth were incorrect on the law and therefore could not justify this redistricting plan.
A political shakeup in Texas politics after a panel of judges blocked a newly drawn redistricting map previously passed by Governor Greg Abbott this year.
Texas is now more red in the United States Congress.
The goal was to help Republicans gain 5 seats in the U.S. House, but a coalition representing Black and Hispanic voters sued over the new maps, saying it weakened their voting power. It's an argument 2 out of 3 federal judges agreed with.
Because the plan was premised on a racial objective, the lack of a legal justification for that race-conscious redistricting plan rendered it a racial gerrymander.
Governor Abbott says the maps were for political reasons, stating, quote,
"What is allowed by the United States Supreme Court is drawing maps for political reasons. And these were drawn for political reasons to ensure that Republicans would have greater representation in Congress."
Political analysts say this is a setback for Republicans.
The jurists took Donald Trump to task for injecting himself into the politics of this. They took the Department of Justice to task, essentially for trying to be misleading when it comes to some of these districts. They took Texas legislature to task. They talked about Greg Abbott. There's a lot in this that really pushes back politically on what it is Republicans are trying to do in Texas.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed an appeal to the Supreme Court, but it's unclear how that will play out.
If it's the case that the Supreme Court decides to continue to hear arguments on the revised maps, then they'll likely keep the prior 2021 maps in place while that happens. That means that the election will go forward potentially with the older maps, just as this current decision holds.
And the new maps, they would have given Republicans 5 new seats in the House, a mid-decade redistricting effort led by President Trump. And here at home, those new maps, they would have meant minor changes for the congressional district boundaries in southeast Texas. District 14, which is held by Congressman Randy Weber, would lose some of Brazoria County, and District 36, held by Republican Brian Babin, would gain Angelina County. We'll keep you updated as this continues to play out in court. Across the nation now this morning, the bill ordering the Justice Department to release all of the files into Jeffrey Epstein heads now to President Trump's desk. The House and Senate wasting no time in passing that bill. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details.
This morning, a moment of unity on Capitol Hill. Both the House and Senate acting decisively Tuesday to pass a bill and force the Justice Department to release the FBI files into sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Only one Republican lawmaker voting no. As that vote unfolded, survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse watching and cheering from the gallery above. The Senate then almost instantly approving the measure unanimously. That means the bill now heads to the White House, where President Trump said he plans to sign it.
He's been very clear and he has nothing to hide, and that's why he's endorsed the vote today.
It comes after the president fought for weeks to prevent a vote on releasing the files. But when it became clear Republicans were going to defy him, Trump reversed course and told them to vote yes. But the president doesn't need Congress to release the Epstein files. He can do it on his own. ABC's Mary Bruce asking the president why wait for Congress.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert.
Following the vote, members on both sides of the aisle casting doubt on whether the president will sign the bill and release new documents.
He might try to stall the whole thing through this new sham investigation that he's now launching.
I only take people's actions seriously. No longer words.
Survivors of Jeffrey Epstein demanding full transparency at a vigil on Capitol Hill.
I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment. It is time to take the honest, moral ground and support the release of these files.
If signed into law, it would force the release of federal records on Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as others tied to the case, all while keeping the victims' identities sealed. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And the Trump administration admitted it mistakenly deported a transgender woman. A judge ordered Brianna Rios to be deported back in March, 22 years after she entered the United States. That decision came after she was convicted of assault with a deadly weapon in Las Vegas. But the judge also blocked the government from removing her to native Mexico. That's because Mexico is widely considered a dangerous country for trans people. The judge found that there was a likelihood that she could face torture there. Her attorneys say Rios was sent to Mexico without money, her daily medications, or a cell phone in November. The government is now promising that she will be allowed back in the U.S. if she can make it to the border. She would then be deported to a different country. Los Angeles, Chicago, Charlotte, Raleigh, and maybe New Orleans next. The surge in immigration and enforcement raids continues in targeted cities across the United States. Amy Kiley has the latest on the crackdown.
ICE out of Raleigh now! ICE out of Raleigh now!
Thousands are demanding an end to the surge in ICE arrests in North Carolina.
They're just sweeping sidewalks, they're sweeping parking lots, they're going into stores and churches. This is not about public safety, and I wish that it were.
Among the demonstrators,
Up with liberation! Down with deportation!
or those who marched and rallied in downtown Raleigh last night.
Randy, they're in our yard.
That follows this week's raids in Charlotte.
Good morning.
And a student walkout there.
We applaud our federal law enforcement efforts in Charlotte.
While some support the surge, others say it's affecting some lawful residents.
They're stopping people on the street randomly based on the color of their skin.
Business today is very slow. Literally 90% of my employees called off. So that's a big hurt for us.
Now New Orleans could be next. A source says Gregory Bovino might go there in early December. He's the Border Patrol officer leading the crackdown. Meanwhile, near Minneapolis yesterday, video shows tense moments after protesters crossed police tape.
Physically, my body hurt, but then also, of course, our hearts hurt.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, coming up, a flood protection project, how Beaumont is addressing drainage concerns in the city's south end.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
Are you at the mercy of your bladder? If leaks are keeping you from living your best life, you should know that it doesn't have to be that way. Incontinence can be treated. Don't wait to get the help you deserve. The National Association for Continence is a nonprofit organization that's helped millions get on the path to a life without leaks. Visit nafc.org now to download your free pelvic floor muscle training kit and become the boss of your bladder.
Well, temperatures remaining well above normal for this time of the year in southeast Texas. We should reach the mid-80s for highs later this afternoon. On our Roofing 911 Skycam network outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. It was a warm, foggy morning, that's for sure. We're still running around 70, 71 degrees across the area. And notice out over western portions of the state, a few sprinkles in West Texas and New Mexico. That's ahead of a next upper level low that will stay north of us, but it will help push a weak cold front into the area coming up on Friday morning. You see it spinning there, but the best energy with that will stay north of our area. But like I said, a front will come through. It's a weak cold front. It'll come through Saturday morning, giving us a little bit cooler temperatures coming up for the weekend. Futurecast going out a little bit farther into Friday. You can see the front ever so slowly working its way into the area. We'll have about a 30% coverage of showers coming up for Friday. Friday night should be okay. Maybe some lingering showers early Saturday near the coast. And right now the weekend's looking okay with some drier and more stable conditions. Rainfall totals, well, not expecting a lot, but with the system coming up between now and Sunday, less than a ½ inch of rain. So that's certainly not going to help us with a drought. This afternoon, pretty warm, mid-80s. Get rid of the fog. We'll see partly cloudy skies and temperatures by this evening still in the lower 70s. Temperatures well above normal for this time of the year. Overnight, very warm, upper 60s near 70. Tomorrow morning, we start out very warm, some fog again. It will become partly sunny tomorrow, about a 10 to 20% coverage. Showers coming up yet again tomorrow. Only a 10% coverage today, maybe a sprinkle here and there, becoming partly cloudy. Mid-80s for highs. That is well above normal for this time of the year. Tonight, look for some more dense fog. Temperatures mid to upper 60s, close to 70, Mid-County and Port Arthur. 7-day forecast, the drought continues. Now we do have rain chances, but it's not going to be enough to help much with a drought. 10% today, maybe a 20% tomorrow, 30 on Friday.
Don't burn anything right now, in other words.
No, do not.
Yeah.
Even if your county's not in that burn ban,
yeah,
just don't do it.
Yeah, bad time of year to do it for
Yes.
sure. All right, thank you, Carrie. Well, a project to help fight flooding in Beaumont South, and that's going to begin soon. A grant is going to fund important drainage work, including digging ditches and replacing culverts, all to help keep flood water away from homes. This $1.8 million drainage improvement project on Phelps Road was approved by council members earlier this month. Councilman Chris Durio, who lives on Phelps Road, says that the project is a long time coming. The city was able to get grant money for the project after neighbors submitted pictures of the flooding following Tropical Storm Imelda. Janet Poehler, who lives there on Phelps Road, says that the project's approval makes others living in the area feel like the city is finally paying attention.
Folks out here feel a little bit ostracized, separate from the city. But I'm glad to see that they are making plans to make a change.
Beaumont Public Works Director says that the project is one of the last pieces needed to fix drainage problems in this area.
By deepening and widening these ditches, improving the sizes of the driveway culverts, we're helping the water from the roadside ditches get to the drainage district ditches.
And she says construction should start as soon as beginning of next year, and it's only going to last about 6 months. Well, AAA projects a record number of Americans are going to travel over the Thanksgiving holiday period, and more people on the roads means the possibility of more wrecks. This Thanksgiving holiday period is already one of the most, or I should say the Thanksgiving holiday period is already one of the most dangerous travel periods over the year. In fact, the crash rate for Sunday after Thanksgiving is 65% higher than the previous Sunday. That's according to data analyzed by the technology company Samsara. Now, it's the busiest travel day of the year when millions of Americans head home and commercial trucks and delivery drivers return to the road. So early winter conditions such as ice, rain, and snow up in the northern part of our country that can also increase the risk of crashes. Experts say that drivers can reduce their risk by leaving earlier in the day, avoiding night travel, and keeping extra space around large trucks. And as we continue to talk here about Thanksgiving being the busiest holiday for travel, this year roads and airports are expected to be busier than ever. AAA says that nearly 82 million people are going to be on the road, or they're going to travel at least 50 miles from home between Tuesday before Thanksgiving and Monday, December 1st. Now that's about 1.6 million more people than last year and a new record. Now, around 6 million travelers, they are expected to fly domestically, which is just a slight increase from last Thanksgiving. But most people, about 73 million, they're still choosing to drive. So if you're one of those millions of people hitting the road, AAA says that there is one important thing to keep in mind, and that is safety. Well, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is just 8 days away, and Tuesday we get a little sneak peek at the new floats that you're going to see during the parade. Gus Rosendale, he takes us behind the scenes.
Familiar characters and sometimes new additions like Labubu, all part of the new floats that'll be part of this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
These floating wonders flirt with the rooftop of this warehouse in northern New Jersey. 7 new floats getting ready for their Thanksgiving Day debut.
Mood of today is super exciting. It's our opportunity to unveil all of our brand new floats to the general public, to the national audience. We've been working the last 18 months to get to today, and it's a celebration.
Every year, new floats are built and designed by a team of carpenters, engineers, and designers at the Macy's Parade Studio. brick by brick. Keep an eye out for this new Winter Mountain by Lego. You can buy a much smaller version of your own to make at home. And if that tires you out, count some sheep with Serta's Dream Generator, or maybe a nap after Thanksgiving dinner. Feeling more adventurous? Maybe hit the high seas with the Land of Glaciers, Wildlife and Wonder by Holland America Line.
It all starts with concept artists, and we chat through what's the best storytelling we can do. You know, we only have a few seconds to tell the funnest, most exciting story for the 3.5 million people on the street, for the 31 million people at home.
It gets a little scary with the puppeteering behind the monster at Netflix's Stranger Things float. But a sweeter time is had aboard Lind's Master Chocolatier Ballroom. And it's all smiles and hugs with fuzzy 16-foot-tall inflatable sculptures, the first of their kind to be built for a float in the parade, with Labubu and Makoko.
A variety of super fun elements, really bright, colorful, and just going to live up to the parade spirit and hopefully wow our audiences.
And keep an eye out for the tiniest float in Macy's parade. This one stands under 8 inches tall, featuring to-scale goldfish crackers. Big and small, all part of a grand tradition.
Now, today's event was a special preview. It was just for the media, but soon millions of people will see these floats in person at the parade, and of course around the country and around the world, right here on NBC.
When Daybreak returns here on 12 News Plus, we're going to have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a Power City, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Boma.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now, and it's time for your morning rush out. So here's everything you need to know as you start your day. A judge has set the bond for 2 men charged in the disappearance of Joshua Larkin. James Jones and Jonathan Cody Beerhalter, they are in the Newton County Jail this morning. Jones's bond is set at $250,000, while Beerhalter's is $750,000. They are 2 of 4 suspects in this case. Now, Beerhalter, he's charged with murder and tampering with evidence along with Justin James. As for Jones and Rodney Blankenship, they're only charged with tampering with evidence. James and Blankenship, they were already in prison on unrelated charges. Well, thankfully, no one was hurt in this mobile home fire last night in Orange. It happened around 7 p.m. on Aloha Street. First responders, they found it fully engulfed, but they were able to get it under control quickly. You see right here, no person was inside at the time, but crews, they were able to rescue this dog and reunite it with its owner. The cause still being investigated. And a project to help fight flooding at Beaumont South End is going to begin soon. A grant to fund drainage work on Phelps Road includes digging ditches and replacing culverts. The $1.8 million project was approved by council members earlier this month. Work could start at the beginning of next year, and it should last for only 6 months.
And lots of fog burning off now across the area this morning. Give way to partly cloudy skies. We'll have high temperatures in the mid-80s today, mid-upper 60s again tonight. A very warm night coming up. Rain coverage 10 to 20% again tomorrow. A little bit better chance of showers at 30% there on Friday.
Here's a reason to smile. The Best Friend Animal Sanctuary in Kanab, Utah was surprised when a young great horned owl showed up at their door seeking help. The poor little guy had somehow fallen into a cement mixer at a nearby construction site, and apparently he knew exactly where to go. His face, chest, and right wing, they were covered in concrete, but they worked fast, and he is now recovering. Good job. And thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. I'm going to be back here at midday at 11 with you, right?
Try to be here at 11 this morning.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.